What's up, guys? It is May 3rd and we are getting ready to go pick up a trencher from my buddy Sam up there at Rent X, and we're going to plant our Miscanthus today. Really excited. We've got 3 different screens to plant today, and I'm going to take you guys through it step-by-step process on how I do it, and I've had great success with it. So let's go pick up this trencher and get started. Good, how are you, buddy?
Good.
I've got a trencher to pick up.
Yeah, we'll get a quick signature from you here at the bottom. We'll get you all loaded, ready to go.
All right, we've got her unloaded, and the first step is to get her depth. I'm gonna start this first trench here, and I'm gonna try to be around 4 inches deep. I'm gonna probably be a little bit deeper because I know some's gonna fall back in. But something important to remember is if you decide to rent a trencher is Sam took off the guard on this when we were there. And the reason he did that is if you have the guard on, you're gonna have a hard packed bottom. It's gonna create a hard packed bottom, and that's not what we want. We want nice loose dirt for this Miscanthus. So first thing we're gonna do is get her depth. So yeah, let's get the show rolling. So I've got my first 2 trenches done. I'm getting ready to do my 3rd right now. You can see, there's my other one. And they're right at about 4.5 inches deep, so perfect. A little bit of extra backfill, I'll make them, you know, right there around that 3 to 4 inch mark. So going good. Got last one to go, and then we'll actually take the Miscanthus out of the bag and start throwing it into the trench. And we'll take a steel rake and we'll backfill it in, and we'll move on to the next screen. Got all 3 trenches dug, and now it's time to put in the rhizomes. I'm going to show you how I do it. You just throw them in there, make sure they're horizontal, and then you're gonna cover it up with dirt. I just use a steel rake. You've got the windrows that the trencher made. You just push those back in with the rake. Keep that soil nice and soft, and do not step on it, do not compact it. The looser the better for the Miscanthus. So we're gonna get started, and we've got a lot of rhizomes to put in the ground. They don't have to be exactly either. Just roughly. I mean, if you measured every single one, you'd be here for literally centuries. If you've got some of the rhizomes that are like combined together, or they're huge like this, you can break them apart. It's not going to hurt them one bit, and be 2 separate rhizomes. Tell you right now, if anybody says this is easy or this is enjoyable, they're out of their minds. I've got about 300 yards of it, well, not quite 300, 200 yards of the screens done. 2 of the 3 screens are done, and the other one I've already trenched, so I just got to put them in and cover them up. But whew, that's a lot of steel raking. Good workout. But you can see here's one of them. All covered up, good to go. Beautiful. Those will be standing soybeans. That's gonna do it for today. Mama Bear said, time to get home, eat supper. And I can honestly say I'm not mad about it. I'm exhausted. We're gonna finish up the last one in the morning. Like I said, it's already trenched, so all I gotta do is put the rhizomes in there, cover them up, good to go. I don't think the rain's coming until tomorrow afternoon, so should be able to get that done and call this quits. But yeah, if you have access to a tree seeder, a tree planter, that's definitely the easier route. Or if you use the trencher, it'd be good if you had some help. You know, if you had a couple people or one other person, it would go a lot quicker. But all in all, it's 5:30 now. I started this at 10:30, and I did roughly, oh, it's more than that, 250 to 300 yards of screen myself. So not a bad day. All right, guys, today is the last day finishing up this Giant Miscanthus. And a couple things I didn't really go over yesterday, I realized, is the preparation for your Miscanthus. And what I have is my 43 horse tractor with a 7-foot tiller, which is absolutely perfect for using the trencher. It's just enough width that I can get rows all the way across it and still have some room left over. But the other thing too is with the trencher, I didn't mention this yesterday, is that you want to make sure you're going backwards. I mean, that's how you're supposed to go on a trencher anyways, is go backwards. But you're gonna have a better trench that way. And one of the only issues that I see with it is whenever you're getting your rows as close as possible, is you run over that windrow of dirt a little bit on one side. You don't actually fill in the other trench, but you run over that row a little bit, and it makes it compact fairly hard, and it makes it a little more difficult to rake that dirt back into the trench. But going in reverse on a trencher, that's a little difficult. You're constantly looking back, trying to look forward. It's just straining, and it's difficult. What I do recommend too, that if you guys decide to use a trencher and decide to go that route and do it that way, see if you can have somebody help you. It goes a lot quicker. You know, if somebody's doing the trenching, somebody could put in the rhizomes in the actual trenches, and somebody could be filling in the trenches. Go a lot quicker, but it is a daunting task doing it all by yourself. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, we're gonna finish this up, and the screen I'm at right now, you can see I got the 360 shooting house behind me here. That's Giant Miscanthus right there on the side of the 360 that goes in that way, and I'm just extending this. But I did all of that on the side of that 360 with the trencher, and it turned out phenomenal. Year 2 was already thick enough that you couldn't see me walking behind it, and it was probably 8, 10 plus foot tall. And this past year looked fantastic, so I'm sure it's gonna be the same here. I'm just extending this about another 100 yards, and I'm doing that mostly for wind direction, and hopefully to keep the deer out of this little fence row that the actual 360 blind is in. What this is also going to allow me to do is move this 360 blind a little bit further forward. This is a narrow plot, and by moving that forward, I'm going to gain about another 5 yards when it comes to shooting. So every little bit's going to help. And yeah, the access and exit to this spot is just bulletproof. This is one of my favorite spots of all time. Had a lot of great hunts here. Plus I can take my kiddos here, and it's really easy, not a far walk, and just great access and exit. The other reason though too, is at the end of this, I want to put either a blind or a tree stand at the far end of this so I can hunt those more questionable winds. This spot is primarily for your easterly winds or straight north, straight south. Anything with west is not very good. However, if I can get at the end of this plot, I could be able to pull off those northwest winds, or even a little more straight west. So that's kind of why I'm doing this with this screen now. And yeah, so we'll see the results this fall, but I'm real excited to be finally finishing this all up. If you guys have any questions on planting the Miscanthus or preparation, or need to know anything about it, reach out to me here in the comments, and I'd be glad to help you guys out. Good luck to you guys.
When it comes to spring or fall food plots, your bedding grasses, your mineral, your access and exit screen, and your upland game mixes, Real World Wildlife Products has you covered. It's not about a fancy bag. It's about actual seed and proven results.